Hello and welcome. Right, haven't we got some of our harvest ready? July. I think we have, haven't we? I'm sure that's why I literally stopped last session, was because we'd got the harvest we had. Oh, grass, man, not all grass. Not all. Yeah, that's not. Right, okay, so we need to get. Ooh. We still haven't actually. It's ever so strange with this. I do find this happens quite a lot. You don't always get a harvester drop. Yeah, it's quite annoying. Right, let's just grab while we're down here. Let's grab the and not do roundy roundies. Let's grab the milk. Fantastic. Yeah, and stick that in. We also, I would imagine. Wow, that's almost instant. Amazing. Oh, I've still not done this. Right, fantastic. So, how are we looking on the products of this? All quite a lot and out of value. Butter's normally worth diesel. No, it's not at the minute. Okay, right, smashing. So anything else we need to be looking for? Silage, diesel. I've got that to sell. We could sell at any time, but we're doing all right for cash. So I sort of keep that. I think I'm keeping that as our rainy day fund. Really, I would say. Let's drop this. Let's feed the animals, and then we're going to get cracking. Yeah, it is. We'll finish what I was saying. Yeah, harvesters are funny things. Obviously, you'd think that you'd get them appear a lot, and that's why I said it was a bit of a gamble doing what we did do. I mean, to be honest, we could buy one of my own. The BI Industries, a very fancy Massey. I think that's not a bad idea. I think we've got the header, which we know. We do need to. Hang on a minute. Is this? Didn't we put my cow barn silo in there? Well, we lost a session. No, we are literally at harvest, so... Yeah, that's true. It should have the car bands. That's why we moved the other one, was because we'd got that one instead. So it's robbed us. For some reason, it's not a bit... It is weird how it does strange things like this. Where you model, you're not renamed it, because I know I've done this often enough now with the modding that I know not to do cardinal sins of certain things, which I did do in the early days, so I know not to do it now. So I don't understand why. We will give ourselves the money back because we'd already done this. I will check in editing, but I'm almost sure we will have actually done this. I think it's the first one. That's why then. 3D loading for this will be because my paths have changed. Right, okay, but yeah, I say that, but then that's the same, so why is that not reading that? Oh, no space. Yeah, okay, my bad. Well, I will check this out afterwards, because that really shouldn't have changed path at all. And the i3D, I was literally editing this last night. No, I wasn't. A couple of days ago. Before, obviously, this is a new computer now, basically. The only thing that's the same is why I keep saying it's the same computer. Is it's got the same case and same power supply. Everything else is new. It is. So it's apart from the graphics card. Sorry, because I bought that top of the range a few months back, and I was not going to replace that again because I'd need to spend thousands to upgrade it to something that was better. And I'm not. Yeah, I'm investing in the channel, but not to that extent where it's become an obsession and I need to spend thousands of pounds on this thing. So with that in mind, I believe we also have got our header up at the shop. I think. Sure, and our trailer, I think, haven't we? Yeah. So why is that not showing? That's what I would like to know. Let's just reset that, make sure that I've not got anything down at the bottom. So let's grab a BI Industries. It should be small enough. We'll buy it. We've put it off long enough, and if we get one come in the sales, after we've done this, there is also that one by Mateus. It's too tiny. It is. I put it in as a but it really is. Well, I mean, yeah. There's also the Mega 2, but ours is actually a tad slightly better, and I like an awful lot prettier, I think. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to buy this one. Slightly bigger hold, which is sort of would have, but I'm not sure I've got the fill plane. to be in the right place for that. So, yeah, there's a bit of jerking on the moving. I think I might have tweaked a setting and it's too much for it, so I need to check what the default setting is. The only bad thing about this kind of custom graphics is the fact that it gets dirty quickly, and I think that might be, according to what Giant said in one of my things, about the fertilizer spreader, and then it struck a chord with something that oh wow, I must have put that right. We can actually do something about that. You can break the lock with ease. I've obviously not, because it is a big enough trailer. It's quite a large trailer, this. We did see that. So if you can sort of break the lock by sticking your forks in at a certain point. He says you can. I just can't remember how you do it. You literally, I think it's just the forks in their natural state, but it looks like it's not. Is it because it's attached? Is the magic of this? That seemed to. Okay, right. That's. It could be as well that this harvester's got its thing in a very. Right. Okay. In that case, let's grab a tractor. Yeah, I'm going to do this properly. It's the beginning of the session, so I'm not going to faff around and like a reset or anything like that. I'd want it to be as I've got a fast tractor. You will do nicely. Oh, but you are sort of set up as our front loader, aren't we? So let's grab the new big John Deere. Yeah, we need to check the food. This is a strange one. This is like, you know, I feel like I'm charioteering. I'm about to slice someone's leg off with the little bits on the side. Yeah, I couldn't find any without that kind of setting on, except for going doubles. And I'm not, although I may as well have doubles on because of the fact that, let's be honest, I sort of have with the width of that. I literally am. Yeah. So we're going to grab that header, we'll stick this on follow, and we'll come and grab the, we are also going to need to lift that as well over some of these hedges. That's a little bit too close. Right, so then, yeah, well that's not ready, obviously that's the corn. So we've got corn and barley is what we've got. Our main thing for our whiskey, which I'm quite pleased about. These... My placeables, I'm quite happy that I've almost finished nearly all the placeables. The only thing I've got to do is my branding. I'm putting my branding back in because Giants made a comment that you're saying you're lizard, but you basically got BI branding or BI stickers on everything. So like, make up your mind what you are. So I thought, well, I've always been BI. It is conflicting, whether it's lost in translation because obviously Giants are German for the main. If you read some of their documentation, I do try to be good and like follow the rules to a degree. And I was looking at the rules, and they were saying you can't have fantasy brands. But then you see in the game that you do have fantasy brands, like with the Phoenix and all that type of thing from H2 Studios, and quite a few other things have got like custom brands. So you like think, well, excuse me, I got a really horrible frog in my throat. Yeah, you do get custom brands, and so yeah, the Colossus range, it's a custom brand, and it is a Colossus range. So I was like thinking, I was trying to be good because it's the first time I was doing mods, so I took my brand off because obviously we can see it splashed on everything in the game, obviously because I'm a content creator first and foremost. But like within, obviously once I was testing, I thought, well, let's just be good. Let's go call it Lizard, you know, like call it the Lizard, because it really isn't obviously a proper brand, as in like it is a fancy brand, which Giants are saying don't do. But now they're saying, well, are you BI Industries? And I'm like, well, okay, well if you're saying that, then you must be like saying that I'm allowed to be BI Industries, so I will be. But the thing that, yeah, I will get back to where I was. The graphics, I think, FSLandscaping, who was the one who I watched his YouTube tutorial on how to make a shed, he covered, and I did sort of say this to him on his channel, I said, you've covered bits with your small tutorial, 5-minute tutorial, that sort of others touch upon, but you've touched everything in one video, and I just congratulate him for such a fantastic video. If you're modding and you watch his 5 minutes, it's my Bible, as in it's what I keep going back to if I need to learn about how to do something with the modding, because it covers all aspects. But what I do realise, he showed you how to grab another couple of UVs. Now I know that won't mean anything. It's a roadmap to your graphics, and I think one is for dirt and one is for water droplets. I think, I don't know that he said it in his video. It's one of the few things he didn't say, but I have a feeling that this is what I missed on my fertilizer spreader. I did a UV, the proper one, so it's got one, but I think, reading between all the lines of all that I know, is that you need 2 more, so you need 3 UVs, and I think one is for the water droplets. That's obviously a new thing for FS25, and the other thing is for the dirt layer, which is why my graphics go horrible when they get dirty. They do go dirty, but they look horrible. It's like the game doesn't know how to handle them, and I'm thinking that's why I'm putting 2 together to make what I'm sort of reaching, that I am sort of thinking that is right, that you know, is really another couple of layers. Now can we go through this, because this is a double gate. If we can't get through here, then there's something wrong. Now we did actually have a lot of fiddling around last year. We didn't do badly actually. We managed to quite well do the yeah, and this has got narrows, so this, although it's a big tractor, it's got scythe wheels almost, like don't come near it because we'll take your legs off. But right, so how do we, it's really the wrong way, but I suppose we have got the ability to go in a little, but headers are usually the thing that get caught on. Yeah, so I'm going to go really wide, and I'm going to try not to overuse my narrows, but I've got to. Why are my narrows ripping the field to pieces? This is the second thing of where narrows have actually not been narrow. Yeah, now we can all see that they really are narrows. But I had this on another thing. It was a little case tractor. It got the built-in fertilizer spreader thing, and it should be about right, I would say. And obviously I did, it's got the built-in fertilizer thing, and obviously the crop was grown and I wanted to fertilize the crop, so I therefore confidently went onto the field with my narrows that we'd just bought, and lo and behold was damaging the field. And I'm like, huh? It says narrows. Why am I like getting... This is yet another example of really that the game is seriously damaged and not working properly, because these narrows are narrows. I did have a mod in FS22 that was sort of similar. Why am I at a bad angle? I'm going to have to sort of like scrunch, because there's no other way that I can do this. Should in a minute actually go about level. Right, fantastic. Let's grab the John Deere and move them out of the way. Yeah, so you can see that I have got narrows, but somehow, I mean, I know the wheels are on the thing, and I've got no option really to go forward, so that means my wheel on that trailer probably will catch at least one. Oh no, we were very lucky. Okay, but yeah, so we've got narrows on this, and we can see the narrows, and we saw when I bought it was narrows, but somehow the game is saying they're not narrow. Well, we know they are, so what is wrong? It's the game again. Right, so then we need to no, we need to unfold first. Yeah, so you can see that I've actually done sort of things that are bigger. What I might do is actually move that backboard back and have the grain come further up to the top, which I can do that. That's a fill plane, but the only thing is I've got to put a tiny little... you can't grab my mouse. You can see there's actually an exhaust. Let me just try. I think I can zoom in much more. Yeah, that little tiny exhaust on the top that you can occasionally, yeah, you can see the fumes better coming out of it there. I'm going to have to put some sort of tiny little protection around it so that it wouldn't be inside the grain, because it would actually burn it and then we would lose all of our grain, which that obviously is not a good idea. Right, so then let's just edge into the field. Will we have... yeah, I'm not sure that we will. Let's have a look. let's see. Also, we just bought this, so we do need to like tell it to activate, and we also need to. Oh, we've already done it. Yeah, the map one. So we've already should have a field 12, 6.2 metre. We now need to do another one. So we want field width settings. 9.2 metre. That's what I was looking for. So we want. Have they changed it? I think I've got advanced settings on. I think I changed it to advanced a while back, which I really don't want anymore. Somewhere, user settings. There we go. Simple's good enough for most things, really, and it does change the. Yeah, I mean you get used to it as well. I don't need advanced very much, so yeah, no, that is right. So we want to now. It should be out. I'm used to see it. So headlands 3, no round corners, and generator. Simple as that. Wow, that was quick. So then field 12, save. 9.2 meters. I don't think that's too bad a size, really. This can go with more. Let's set this going straight away on first and switch that off and immediately go into a time lapse. It is true though, I mean I'm not kidding, that we can see that there are certain things wrong with the game. I mean, it's playable, it really is, but there's certain real major terrible things that really are bad. Now that we need to grab a trailer, of which we have a couple, and no, we can't. Let's. Yeah, this is really the best. No, we've got the fender as well, haven't we? Somewhere. I am right. We have got a fender, haven't we, on this one? Yeah, I was going to say. I thought we had. It's a bit light. I remember saying it. I was just sort of thinking. Am I right? Oh, it's a 180, isn't it? Of course. Yes, I do like this one. It is a light tractor, really. To be honest, it's quite a pokey little small tractor, but not too small when you look at it. Right. So let's grab the trailer and let's meet that field. Yeah. So it's a bit of a. This is the second tractor I've had with narrows that's not got narrows, and it obviously has got narrows. You can see that they're narrows, but the game isn't reading it. Now that's a serious error. Now this is a brand new install the other day, as in like I did just in case as a modder I'd actually done anything bad. I basically oh, have I got straw? It's usually defaulted to straw. Right, fantastic. We have got straw. Brilliant. Let's just grab the trailer, which should be. Wow, it was in that very field. It was. We used one for the carrot we've been using to feed the animals, which I haven't forgotten that we need to do that. Where is the normal trailer? Looking forward to using that. Yeah, where is the normal trailer? Did we borrow it for... The one good thing about this farm is that I do like this as well, the route that we've got through it. This does look like it was naturally supposed to be. It's got like two tyre marks. Whether that's just a coincidence is another matter. Where is our trailer? We definitely have another trailer, Roland, I think, or something like that. I'm sure we did have. We're not sold it or anything. So let's have a look for like. Yeah, I mean this is another thing that often goes wrong, and that is like seeing things. General Maxi. That's yeah. Oh, so whereabouts is that? It's not very far in, is it? Actually, it looks like it's just around ahead of us. Why did I go past that and not see it? I remember doing it now, actually, thinking about it. Right. This, ooh. Sometimes the hand is quicker than the eye. You press a button and it's not ready for you to press the button, and your head sort of goes, oh yeah, but I just pressed that button. And it's true you did, but like you pressed it a millisecond sooner than you should have done, and so therefore the game wasn't ready for you to click on it. It's definitely true. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try and check what this. It's almost like the turn is just turning. That's not quite right. Now then, oh yeah, we're gonna go into a time lapse now, definitely. So I'm gonna say my words. I'm gonna see you guys and gals on the other side. again, the icons have disappeared. This is not appearing on the map again. That's quite a serious error for a game, really, that you're sorry to come out of the time lapse again, but just sort of pointing out that obviously your vehicles are disappearing. Now, saw this the other week on Polenye, where literally you were looking for your vehicles to jump into them or to see the active worker. You're on the active worker screen and it didn't show the active worker. So really these are fairly serious errors, really. If Giants don't pull their finger out, they really are very, very bad errors for a game. Right, I'm going straight back to the times. I just thought I'd point this out, that you really could not see the yeah, no, you can, because I'm in it now, but if I go into that and then go into that, it's no longer there, and we've got vehicles clearly on, and combines clearly on, but we haven't got a combine on the field. Apparently we've not got a combine on the field. And obviously the one thing I am going to say is, although I've modded it, it is still, or it's mainly graphics that I've modded on this particular model. So right, we need to like do that, because he's gonna, yeah, I need to like cut. Oh, I can't, can I? I can't see. I've literally got to run across the field now, because seemingly this doesn't exist and is a figment of our imagination. So let's just actually backtrack. Yeah, you can see it's starting to go mucky already. It does. I mean, the other thing it emphasises is just how quickly things go mucky. It really is terrible that it gets mucky that quick, but it does. So you get used to it. But I personally think that's a little bit too quick for anything to get mucky, really. Although I suppose is it really though on a farm when you're mucking around with? Maybe that it is not too far off. I suppose when you consider you're throwing dust up, it's a dry, dusty field, so probably you might actually. But I suppose it's dry, dusty. But then again, is that just? Yeah, I suppose they may have it right. They might. When you consider logically, like what you can see and what is real. Right, I think what we'll do is we'll offload this, and then I shall let the worker take over again, and we'll grab the straw. But I just wanted to point out that there's something's damaged, and it's not the new harvester, so I would say it's got to be the header. So I think we ought to like. That's true. It gives me an opportunity. I've never grabbed that. Obviously, it's got the hour points. It might only be 75 euros, dollars, or pounds, but it is actually a little bit special as much as you can shift it, and that's the advantage over a normal thing, that no matter how expensive you might spend on your fancy thing, that you can't in the game take that and actually yeah, you can't bring it to you, which this you can, which is a really quite a big advantage, I think. Let's see, we should do it this time. Right, let's go grab that toolkit, which is somewhere over here. No, it's more like over. Oh no, I'm looking in the wrong place. Oh, where's me? Oh, half my icons have disappeared. Yeah, it is another thing that's like not quite right. Now then, how do we actually pick this? I think you need to do it with a. Yeah, you can't actually grab it. So it must be with a front loader. It's got to be, hasn't it? I didn't realise. I've never tried to do it. It's weird how some things pop into your head and you think, oh yeah, no, you've got to like grab it with a telehandler or a front loader. I think that is it. I think you get, and it's a bit like the old ones in FS25. I think it will reset to this point. Doesn't particularly like tension straps. Ooh, okay, so this may be the defeat of this kind of thing, because it's not like in the tension belts. It's expecting this to be a solid front loader, and it's not allowing me to grab it. So I might have to. Will it allow super strength? Yeah, so obviously one thing that you do find is obviously the reality of these are ethereal, so therefore this is expecting standard. Can I switch super strength? Will that No, it won't. So basically, you've got to do this the traditional way if you're going to shift this, which with all of the straps and the tension straps, that's quite a disadvantage, really. Yeah, it's sort of. Now I'm going to have to. How am I going to do this? Well, we could sort of be clever, and then yeah, we could. But let's be honest. Although I often say a mechanic's rule is king, and they sort of do, you could sort of stick a yeah, a point down, couldn't you, right over there, and then like move it. It'd be a little bit of a clever thing to do. So we need to like do that. Does this do damage? A little, I think, but like it's not gonna be terrible, is it? So let's just jump in that, which is, and this is what we found on Polenia as well. It works sometimes. Yeah, it doesn't always fail. Yeah, on Polenia, they were disappeared 1 minute and the next minute everything was okay. So repair, and you should not need repair. Oh, when you do need repair, okay. So then all we need to do is get rid of said thing for a mere £75. Euros. And yes, I realise I did make a mistake last session. Obviously Northern Ireland is on euros, so although this is my home country per se, as I said, well, really the money needs to be on euros because this is Ireland. So yeah, it is now back on euros where it should be, really. I apologise to those who are thinking it's not pounds at all, it's euros. So yeah, it's true. It takes some getting used to, really. So let's have a look. How much have we got in there? 10,000 litres already. Right, the John Deere. Now then, where is our next field of this? It's over in here, isn't it? How is the best route to go out that and through? We've got a bit of an opening here, haven't we, now, that like is making it really easy. So yeah, we could jump in the John Deere and get ready, and I am going to go straight back into that time lapse because we have got quite a bit of work to do. Yeah, so let's twizzle this around as well, so it is actually the right way. Right, I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. that's a bit of lousy parking. How am I supposed to get to the pipe with that? That's unusual. Very unusual that Causeway does things like that. It usually pulls into the field. It just goes to show that obviously certain situations where it's on a turn and things like that, no system is perfect. No matter how good Causeway is, it's still following its programming, but in this instance the programming is not right for the particular, and of course obviously most of the time, 90% of the time, that will probably be spot on. So just sort of highlights that no system is perfect when you're trying to, I mean obviously they could add lots and lots of lines of code. Sorry, I'm a bit far away from the microphone. Just do this and then I'm all yours. Yeah, it just goes to show that obviously you can add a lot of code and that's going to make things more complicated and better in a way, but then it causes things to be bigger, and the enemy of modding is size of files. It is. When I first, I had some massive graphic files to begin with, and I was like thinking that Giants are not going to be happy with that. They're not. It's going to be like, what on earth are you doing? This file's a monster. Pull in some of the in-game very complicated diffusers, but from some of the buildings on the American map, they were really large because the detail was huge. But I sort of thought you're going to have to like compromise a bit. You're going to have to like, otherwise your mod's going to be like massive, and all it's going to be massive for is just for a graphics file, and people are going to think, wow, why is it so big? You know, that anybody pays attention to that type of thing. So right, let's just stop this. Yeah, it's great fun this, but it's very long, and I wish you could go a little bit higher, just a little bit higher. I might be able to do something with that. I am going to try to make my own of these, but I do think I was going to do away with that, the under, which is the top one really, that hides. Is it the top one? I always get confused on this, whether it's the top or the bottom, but whichever one it is, the one that pulls out, I was going to just keep the one at the bottom, not have the top one. But part of the magic of this is that bar, that the one that pulls out, because it gives it that extra reach, which can make it very, very useful whipping around the field. So I'm not going to do that now, but it does still present. I do think I'd like the height to be a bit bigger, so it would go up a little bit steeper than that. It would get you out of those situations where you're going around a farmyard, because it would be a lot higher. So yeah, I think I'm going to see if I can modify the actual. And here we go again. We've lost the combine. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I've somehow switched on I don't know how I did it. Switched on a frames per second thing. I accidentally pressed the key. I don't know what on earth I pressed. It's part of the NVIDIA overlay. That much I know. I've done it before, but I'm stuck. Yeah, you get it. It's the 50 horsepower engine on this is enough to sort of do most things, and it is fairly good. The good thing is it doesn't run out of fuel. It's got an inexhaustible engine, which is rather quite special. Yeah, it is. Again, you could bring that in, I suppose, but obviously Giants. This is a Giants model, so if they're good enough with that, then I am too. It must get plugged in each night to charge its little batteries up. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, there's some gaming conventions. As I said, you've got to remember it is a game. So I keep trying to remind myself of this, that although a serious game based upon realities of life, I love this. This and my stone picker, the bucket type one. I just really do. It's just great fun to use it and just have a bit of fun with it, and I really do love it. So yeah, I would just like to tweak this a little, as I said, just to make it what I would say almost, it is almost, I think, perfect, with the counter on this and the fact that you can now jump into it as a vehicle. I just think that was just the bits that Dr. Julia missed, and if he hadn't to miss them, I wouldn't have done anything about it. I wouldn't have done my own version, because I would have thought, nah, he's already got it covered. And I said that the other day. I'm not going to waste my time modding something that someone else has modded, unless it was something I felt very, very passionate about. That again, like this, that I thought, I think it just needs a couple of tweaks, and then it's going to be spot on. And that's what drew me to do this. And I literally jumped into the Giants version and started modding it. Then I put the the side panels on, because I thought, well, it wants a bit of capacity. Dr. Julie gave it 10,000 litres, which again I thought, well, if I put side panels on it, it's going to be like 3 times the only nasty thing is the fill plane is flat. I'm not sure if I can do anything about that. It looks a bit odd when you look down that when it's not filled, because you can see it's a flat bit at the top, but that's a game limitation that I'm not sure if I can do anything about. I will see. I think nearly all fill planes are really flat. They're sort of like an optical illusion. Now if I pull tight, I'm trying to get to how the best place is to pull past here without clocking the shed. You've got to get enough width away from it without clocking it. That's not bad. Again, speed is something that I always whip round corners very, very fast. And again, speed is your enemy when turning. So you really, the slower you go, the better you turn in circles. So these are things that you learn as you sort of go in at the game, which are very useful. But anyway, let's go back into that time lapse, because I don't want this. I would like to finish these 2 fields. I love the turn on this. I'm going to incorporate this. If I ever do a telehandler, that front wheel is the wheel I'm going to choose for all 3. So it's got independent triple steering. It's going to be a little something like Black Sheep Moddings. So it's cheap and cheerful with a small engine, but also quite hefty like Black Sheep Moddings, because he's got the. And I'm going to do something different with the physics that I was looking at the physics to find the best possible. It's actually this time it's going to unload. Yeah, to actually do something that's not even done by the manufacturers, but something that physics say that is the better one, based upon the wheelbarrow model, which is probably one of those humble designs, which really is quite special. And I'm going to use that type of thing, where the fulcrum point is at the front and not at the back, because actually it's the best possible thing. But obviously manufacturers do it for many other reasons. So if we jump down to that for now, I would imagine it's going to clock the back. I'm interested to see whether, yeah, no, it is. It looks like this is always expecting this to be a 6-meter header, its own header, or maybe the 7.5, because that was close. This is when it gets mucky. That metal at the back goes horrible graphics, really horrible graphics. So, and I think that's supposed to be muck, and I think that's what happens when you've got the UV missing. So I will do something about that. No, we actually did, because it looks awful. It does. It's so terrible. And obviously this is what's wrong with my original model, because I missed this. I didn't realise you needed to do that. I know it needed a UV, but I didn't realise it needed like 3, which is like not a very obvious thing, because I don't think in FS22 you needed any more than 1. So it's again, new modder. You learn. The only nasty thing is I thought I'd finished with my models, so therefore I didn't keep them on Blender. Well, you need to keep your models on Blender, so I'm having to do it all over again to actually fix my original mistake, because I thought I'd finished and so I didn't need to keep them. So lesson to self, note to self, keep your models, because you never know when you're going to need them again. It's true. I was working on my laptop though, so they might actually be there. Right, we need to empty that trailer bin, as we've only got the one. I know we have got the other, but basically what I mean is yeah, the other's kept for the animal stuff, so we really could do with another trailer. I've kept this. I've not. I apologise for that frames per second, because I do know it does record it as well. First time it happened, I thought, oh, it's going to be all right. It's going to be an overlay. It won't be there, but yeah, it is an overlay. But it's an overlay that can actually be seen, so it's annoying. Again, I don't want to be like faffing around for 5 minutes on session trying to find the key to actually switch it off. So I apologise in advance. Right, so it's a back tip, this one. Yeah, I've also knocked my it down to the standard 4K settings. I was higher. I literally, and I thought you're gonna just we filled. Wow, that's interesting. So where do we stick the barley? We could go into the self-sufficiency, because that has barley for seeds, and use that as additional storage. a little bit crafty, but yeah, it's a shame. Obviously, this, let's just see, has this been fixed? It did have an update, so, and I'm sure it said that it didn't need the Sega. So really, barley is one of the base game things. It should now be working if I don't hit the wall, which it's a little bit tight. Yeah, not really for your beginning farmers that have never like. Yeah, no, it's still not working. Oh, hang on, let's go back a bit further because sometimes angles are a bit wrong. Aha! Oh, that's filling. Oh, we can see that this is supposed to be like that though. Now then, that's also, yeah, because that. No, that's force tip. So no, it's not there. It's not there. I was wondering if it was my. Obviously, that mod that tells you things can also give you the wrong message. So the pipe at the top's working. We can definitely see that that grate is there. If we switch the zone markers on, does that actually show you that that's the tip there? And then we know that I'm right and that it really is just a fault at the minute that that's not actually working. Yeah, it is. So let's just go right as far back as we possibly can. Ah, so it's all my like, yeah, but the door's gonna. Well, that's odd because we were there before and it wasn't giving us the dumb barley thing, and we were that far back. Oh, yeah, I need to go a step. I'm not being nasty, but that's a little bit too close to the back of that. Whoa. FSLandscaping, I seriously. Is that it? Are we? Surely not. 65,930 litres of barley already in there. Oh, we've never put that in that. That's a bit odd. Well, it's a nice a bit odd though. I mean, it's a lot of barley. So perhaps we were given a gift of the barley already, and I didn't realise. Obviously, because I've not done anything. Well, I couldn't unload in there. So to be honest, it's got to be. So is that we've got some in there already? Some in storage. We have 65,930 litres. Wow. There you go. Thank you very much, FS Landscaping. Oh, I'm getting confused between the two modders now. Yeah, FSG modding and FS Landscaping. Yeah, no, I am right. That is correct. This is not going to help you. Actually, you need to be. Let's just go and sort out that needs to be unloaded because they've run out of that. There's no, and then that's the most important job that we've got to do. We've fed the animals. That's the only bad thing about that model. It's clockable and it will wander because it's not as bad as the. No, it is. That's the bad one. Oh, I've got the other one now. That's the two-wheel version. That's definitely better. Now that's more like it. You see. Now normally. If it's got a bit of room, it will dig itself into the field so you can pull right next door, but obviously that's perfect. Are you going to pull off? You should stop while unloading. Now I have made that a little bit, I think a little bit too fast unloading. It's a bit, the pumps in that are quite phenomenal. It's a bit special. Yeah, I think I've gone a little bit too. I've got to be honest. Some of the harvesters, I'm like, oh my life, it's so slow. I bet that's me being impatient and sort of you've got to learn as a human that you need to learn patience, but there is also a degree of like if you're using a tool a lot, you really seriously do need it to. I think we need to upgrade this to the whiskey factory. I have done it now. I think I've got a bionic. So what I'm going to do is we're going to pay for it and I'm going to swizzle it afterwards. Not even sure to go super because we've got a lot of barley. For a little farm we've really sort of done quite a lot. So we don't want to really be using this extra like that. So we'll just see. I'm sure after saying I'd not done this it with a special, like a super and a bionic. I'm sure I went and did that straight away, and this is why. Obviously, I am still tweaking a lot as I like find something that's not quite right. I like will go away and I'll tweak it. So bionic mills, factory. I'm still yet to do this on a Let's Play. It does work, but well, I presume it works completely, but. Whiskey factory. So that's the standard 27,000. So there should be one for 47,000. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, you've done it at the same price. Yeah, because whiskey factory. In fact, I've not even changed its name. So there's 3 models. There should be and will be. One should be 47,000. Yeah, I have. I've just basically I've just not named them. So I have done it. But I will stick that down. I'll do the bionic, so it will be an extra 20,000 that we'll take away. So we're going to do that now. I'm going to minus. Oh, remove money. So you don't need to put minus anymore. So that pays for a bionic, which I shall upgrade, and I shall change the bit that we've just seen is wrong. Right, so let's go back to the field. Yeah, it's annoying because I've got FSG modding is the one who makes my mod switcher to move my mod folder so that it's easy to test. FSLandscaping is... I'm sure it's FSLandscaping that's this map. And that also is the one that taught me how to do sheds, because you can see he's very good at doing the sheds. So yeah, it's FSLandscaping that is the one that's taught me such a lot. And I get confused between FSG and FS. Yeah, the two are very similar, and in my head it's sort of like, oh, right, and am I slightly... Let's just make sure, because he's got to turn around as well. Right, let's go back. Are we doing... I think we're nearly finished. I think we should just... Yeah, it doesn't matter if we finish the straw really today either. That's not a major thing. We can like do that and come back. Yeah, the other thing I was thinking about was on nearly all Let's Plays, we're going to properly have a lot of straw. Now, we're using ours mainly for TMR mixing, but I still think we're going to have enough. I think going forwards, I'll probably have my straw factory on almost all, a little bit like the self-sufficiency. I think the straw factory and the self-sufficiency are probably going to be staples on most maps that can cope with it. I'm also going to do a smaller self-sufficiency that's going to be a smaller and lighter model that's not going to be quite so powerful. Yeah, there's a few things I've sort of thought of. Again, this is what you get when you play a game as well, and you're a modder, because you start to like think, well, I can do something about that. You know, and you think I can make a model, like I've got my cow barn silo. I really like that. And there's other things similar like that. That then made me think, oh, yeah, I could do a one with 2 pipes. And I could, the one that we've got on the field, just let's send the drones up and I'll show you. Yeah, I thought this is a really annoying design, because I might do this again where I stick the model in the middle of the hedge. Now, in real life, I'd rip the hedge out, but obviously this is a game. If I stuck that in the hedge and it had 2 pipes, I could literally stick that in the middle and we could actually have it empty onto both sides of the thing. And I thought, I'm sure I can do that. I'm sure I can. Now, it's gonna not as easy as it sounds, because it's only supposed to have 1 output, so I'm going to have to be a little bit clever, but there is ways to sort of do things, especially if you're going to do... Ooh. Yeah, now obviously I couldn't do it if I was going to show you the smoke and the graphics, because it would actually make a mess. Because it would be coming out of both pipes at the same time, and it may be that Giants won't allow it for the fact that they may tell me that I need to switch my smoke on, which is on my fill points. I did it by mistake to begin with, and then I thought, actually, do you know, I really like the fact that I can't see, because we all know that a lot of them have got... Omatana's has got a terribly generous fill point. Still didn't pull that out far enough. Still in the way. Yeah. Maybe they was trying to unload, actually. Yeah, it was. I keep forgetting how both barley and wheat are very, very... Yeah, so that really should look mucky. Now, it's funny, but the top one, it does look like muck, but it really goes mucky very quickly, and it does still look revolting. But that, I mean, that is using... I just can't see far enough. Yeah, again, I've changed the draw distance so it looks a bit odd, because obviously you reach in a... Oh, no, you really have grabbed that straw. I thought it was ending there and I couldn't see it, so it looks like it just stopped as he was about to pull round. So I think the last two, it's making a lot. It was a lot. It took an awful lot longer with that the 6.2 metre header last year. I'm glad we bought this. So this really is pretty much like the Evian. It's about the same capabilities in every sort of way. Maybe the Evian might look... I quite like this. I think it's... I mean, again, the last one in FS22, the Harvester of Choice, that also... I mean, that does look particularly horrible and pixelated. But it really is supposed to be dirt, and that is what I'm saying. I think that's what Giants was sort of saying about the fertiliser spreader. I hadn't got that in it, so... Right, where did we abandon the... Yeah, we abandoned it there. Yeah, and even my everything, even the plastic and that, although that's done in game. Yeah, it's strange, because obviously the one strange thing is anybody who's a modder would tell you, you are allowed to create what they call primitives, which are basic shapes. Now, it looks like if you do that, then obviously they haven't got the ability to show dirt and that, so... trying to get off, but it's like... You usually can. I nearly did it. It's typical. I think we're going to need the tractor. It's good fun, because obviously that's the other thing as well, is that you've got to try to keep that so you're not getting caught on lumps and things like that. It's just, to me, it's really is quite nice to... once I've pulled off the edge of that. It's only a glance, but it's just not got the oomph to actually do anything. Ooh. Yeah, this jerkiness. Why did I switch the engine off? Yeah, so I am sort of doing some little mods I've never seen anyone do. And obviously the other thing is I'm using distribution silos almost extensively. I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking, you made your little multi-fruit and your big multi-fruit. You're not using them. And I thought, no, because I'm using production silos because they're so much more useful. They do have annoying bad sides, though. And that's definitely true, too, where... Oh, my life, we filled that quickly. Yeah, they chatter to each other and they send stuff when you don't want them to. So it's a bit annoying. It's like now the self-sufficiency has thrown all of the TMR across the entire map. They're all in all the other silos. So that means that I can't grab any TMR for the top thing and I've got to buy it, which is a bit annoying. But I could have a little tiny fill silo right next to that and put that on the same, and then it would... That's what I'm trying to do. I've got these little tiny fill silos, a little bit like the Karma bins, and that's what I'm sort of doing them for. They're only cheap as chips because they're only supposed to really represent little tiny Karma bins, but they obviously look like that silo there, the little one, so the buying station. But it really is, that is a proper silo model, but obviously I've done it as a production rather than a silo. But what I mean is, the i3D is an exact copy of a standard silo. These exact silos that were on the Asian map, so it really started its life as a silo and I converted it to a production and made it into a proper production, so therefore it has the limitations of a production, but it does have all the parts of a silo, and that's sometimes thrown me a bit of a curveball because it is not a silo, it just looks like one, and I keep the optical illusion of it being a silo keeps throwing me a wobble, and I'm thinking this silo's not working right, and I have to remind myself it's not a silo, it's a production. You know, it's I was struggling with the grate for a long while. That's because the grate has no bearing. It's a production. But obviously I want the illusion that the grate is real, because it's important to me for the immersion element, for that to actually be right. So again, and that's the other sort of thing, all my models are to try to assist with immersion so that they are real. And even my pallet fork that I'm sort of trying to make, I want that also to have a back like the Albert, with a proper back, but with straps. I just can't figure the straps out. I've literally, I mean, other than copying NASA's, which I don't want to do, I've literally obviously started with it, and I've copied every step that NASA's done, and I'm like, well, why is mine not working? I have done it slightly different, but I mean, I've done tension belts, but they're completely different. I've also looked at the Altec, and I can't, and again, he does his completely different, but it works. And I'm like, well, why can I not get mine to work? What is, like, you know, why is it not working for me? So I'm not going to copy. I'm not giving in. But the trouble is, it's now taking me a lot longer, because I wanted it to be one of those mods. I quickly did one afternoon, but it's not going to be one of those kind of mods I can do like that. It's going to take some time, and I've already spent probably a good solid 2 days doing that. So, well, 2 sessions of like time, not 2 days solid. But right, so I have an appointment with, like, my real life. I've got hopefully finishing off this task that I've had to do of laying some slabs. I've got to do some cutting today, so yeah, hopefully I'll finish it. So that should be us done. So that's perfect timing. I was hoping to get out there for 10 o'clock this morning, so that not to annoy the neighbours with, like, angle grinding at like 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning. I thought that was a bit too much. Well, I was actually going to make a start today, and I thought, no, you can't annoy the neighbours like that, even if they would you. It's just like, no, that's tight. Oh, brilliant. Let's get this field. I think we'll actually do it, and then I would say our harvester has self-unloaded or is attacking the one or the other. Let's just grab that, because it's obviously, as again, combines are not working. Now the interesting thing is, it's still a combine. It really is. I'm going to say, I haven't changed its function. Yeah, I mean, I have tried that. When I was trying to make a roller work, I changed the seeder to a roller, and to see if, like, can I make the seeder work if its primary function is a roller. And the answer to that question was no. But it proved that my roller was right, because it actually rolled and actually did that. So it just proved to me that I'd actually done everything correctly. We can still drop it off, I think, even though it's the wrong way around. I've done this before. I think it actually flips it around, so we'll just try not to look. I can actually do that. Let's move out of the way and let's not look, because it will do it. Oh, I must have been right then. It must have been the right way around. So our team, as I would say, this can be a 400 horsepower tractor. I don't think we're going to need any more than that. So we've got 3 sort of fairly decent tractors, and yeah, in the 2 in 180, 175s, and then this one that's 2 something, and then we've got the 2 little 116s. The little John, yeah, you can see it doing weird things. That's because it's not like it's got no dirt thing for these particular files. It goes back to silver underneath, which is a bit odd, because it's not. It was silver, actually. Yeah, originally the original graphics file was pure silver, so it goes back to that base colour if it doesn't understand what your diffuse is. So your graphics file, let's just keep it like that. So it does look really horrible. It goes from looking really pretty, the red and black, to go looking really nasty with it, because it doesn't understand what the dirt is. So right, so that is it. Oh no, let's just grab that bit and then I'm literally gone. And I do just apologise once more about the frames per second, which I shall figure out how to do that and switch that off once the cameras are off. Yeah, I hate these. It's like when I'm trying to find a production. Over the years, I've got more like thinking, just switch the cameras off for a minute. You don't want to have a 5-minute pause. It's all right recording everything, but not if you're like dragging people through a 5 minutes video of how to find a production, which they'll be able to find a lot quicker than you because you've got the cameras on. So it is true. I try now to, if I get that, I just switch it off, you know, so for a minute until I find it. I'm trying to get better at that kind of thing, so as I'm not wasting everyone's time. One little tuft. Oh, thought I might actually get that. So there you go, strudel on both fields, 2 sets of barley, and we have so much barley on our hands that in truth, yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to do with it, haven't we, really? We really do need a bionic, or maybe a super. We'll go bionic, because again, I've never tried a bionic yet. It's not even named properly, as you saw, or the super, but I've actually done it, the actual production's right. It's just I haven't renamed it. So yeah, all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey, on this beautiful farm. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.